So picture this, you started to take interest in photography and have been making trips to camera shops lately. Upon reaching the camera shop, there before you lay rows and rows of cameras. Confused with all the types of cameras available, you begin to wonder to yourself, which camera should I be looking for that best suit my photography needs? And ultimately, what are actually the different types of cameras for photography displayed before you? So in this video, I'll give you an overview on the different types of cameras for photography that we have today and to help you in making the best decision in purchasing the right camera. And hey, make sure you stick to the end as I'll be giving you an additional bonus tip to guiding your camera purchase. Coming right up. Hey, what's up everyone? Maximilian here from MW Photography. Image-based works have been my long-time passion, and photography is one of them. In this channel, I hope that you can join me as we embark this journey to explore the wonders of photography, to capturing life's precious moments, and to creating art. So if you're new here, consider subscribing and click on the notification bell icon below to be notified on future videos. With that said, let's get into it. In 2014, there's an estimated 4 billion cameras being used, a huge majority of them being camera phones, 1.8 billion cameras being sold with a whopping estimation of 1 trillion photosecond that year. Cameras have truly evolved from just a simple plain box into modern high-end tiny computers that are built into our cell phones and cameras. Thanks to the advancement of technology in the world of photography, it has been a regular thing that capturing images can be easily done through our mobile devices compared to olden days when taking photos require you carrying chunkier cameras around. More and more types of cameras are being developed in each generation, each with their own benefits and cons, each with a vision in mind. Most importantly, is to suit the photographer's needs to capturing better image quality. So I'm sure that you already know some of the cameras we have today. However, getting to know more of the most popular types of cameras for photography is a starting point in starting your photography journey. Yes, it may be difficult to choose the type of camera to go for at first, but it'd be much easier to figure it out what actually works best for you when you find out more about each one of them, what they're best for, what their strengths and weaknesses are. So the most popular cameras that we have today are film cameras, action cameras, 360 cameras, point and shoot or compact digital cameras, digital DSLR cameras, and mirrorless cameras. For film camera, some people may regard film cameras as being outdated, as cameras of the days of old. However, it is by no means obsolete. Today, film cameras have better output qualities compared to before, with better bodies and capabilities. For instance, the classic 35mm film cameras that are still being sold today, and by far the cheapest way to go when getting to shooting film. Or the instant and lomographic cameras, which produce vintage-style photos with vignettes and Instagram-like filters with each click of the shutter. Rangefinder cameras, a type of camera which manually measure subject distance, have been improved while retaining the vintage-like body design and analog settings. Or the medium format film cameras, which provide an even bigger surface frame, enabling gallery artists' capability to develop huge prints without losing image quality and to capture natural-looking shots as our eyes actually see them in the real world. So what are the strengths and weaknesses on using film cameras? Let's talk about the weaknesses first. The price. Though it can come cheap, such as using the classic 35mm film cameras, it can be expensive and has recurring film costs. Purchasing and developing film is a continuing cost. Under that example, the rangefinder camera mechanism is a delicate mechanical instrument and needs constant servicing. Other disadvantages are such as high risk of focusing and exposure errors, no internal light metering, and using analog settings. The film must also be developed before viewing, so you can end up developing poor photo captures or images taken unintentionally. If you're looking to get shallow depth of field, especially at wide angles, it's much more difficult with a smaller format. Since medium format tends to be larger than 35mm films, they come with bigger sizes, taking more of the physical space, hence bulkier than digital cameras. And now the advantages of using film cameras. Though it may come with a higher maintenance and photo production price, it can be a lower initial cost for film camera than for comparable digital camera. There are heap good quality lenses out there in the market, Often, film cameras also offer higher resolution than most digital cameras, with a higher dynamic range, which makes it better at capturing detail in monochrome or blacks and whites. Due to a limited number of exposures available on the roll of the film, one must think about their images before shooting them. With a limited number of film shots, you are likely to pay much more attention to details. You want to get the shoot as good as possible in camera and make the best out of your film roll, hence raising the potential to producing better, more beautiful artistic photos. In short, if you prefer to go vintage and back to the basics of photography, while having a longer learning curve to enjoy the process of photography, particularly shooting and developing the films, while not minding the possible higher production costs, size or weight, then film cameras are for you. Next, let's talk about action cameras. So with the modernization of camera technology, cameras have also gotten smaller and smaller and can now fit into the palm of the hand. As the name suggests, action cameras are used usually in action-packed activities and as vlogging cameras due to its mobility and ease of use. Not to mention, some of these action cameras also lock what seem like limitless potential, while still be able to produce high-resolution photo output. It could withstand the harsh environment of the scorching desert, ice-cold weather, and underwater. With that said, some action cameras may not have a flexible manual settings and usually have a limited zoom. Besides this, some older action cameras don't come with a monitoring screen, hence bringing much difficulty to view on what you're shooting. Due to its small inbuilt sensor, action cameras tend to have noisier photos, especially in low-light surroundings, which means grainy photos with a lower resolution. Some batteries may also finish faster, and this brings to an increment to the cost and need to buy and bring more batteries while shooting. Compared to its cons, action cameras can really bring out its full potential. Whether on land or water, it is durable, small and lightweight enough to easily fit into your luggage while traveling. Along with its accessories such as head mounts, bicycle mounts, or even on drones, it can be fixed onto surfaces and shoot from a vast number of angles. Action cameras are also app-enabled, meaning you can easily download the Action Cameras app into your phone and remotely shoot, transfer, and upload photos from the comfort of your own phone. So in short, if adventure and sports are your main interest of photography, and you want a relatively short learning curve to operating the camera with less hassle while traveling, then action cameras are for you. Just like action cameras, it is lightweighted, compact, and usually comes with accessories which enable it to be mounted on literally any surfaces and can be used underwater as well. It can also be controlled via their respective apps installed into smartphones. Difference is, while action camera usually has less than 180 degrees field of view, the 360-degree camera, as its name suggests, shoots in full 360 degree to allow the shooter to truly immerse himself or herself in virtual reality. Since it shoots in a 360 degrees angle, you do not need to worry of not capturing a specific moment in your traveling. And taking panorama photos will be a breeze. Its final image is not the usual photos that we used to see, but it could actually produce beautiful and creative images such as creating those famed tiny planet effects. 360-degree cameras, however, do not come without its cons. It's subjected to camera blurring, less sharper images due to its massive wide angle, fixed focus, and also can be challenging from shots to shots as you need to properly compose your image due to its extraordinary angle of view. Due to its small inbuilt sensor in some of the 360 degrees cameras out there, 360 degrees cameras also produce noisy and less sharp photos, especially in dark areas of the image. So in short, if you wish to create creative, immersive 360 degrees photos that are different from most conventional photos out there, while not minding the possible bits of degradation in the image quality, then 360 degrees cameras are for you. And next, let's talk about compact cameras. Also known as point and shoot camera, as its name suggests, it is small and light, built to simply point to a subject and clicking the shutter button to capture the image. As it is a digital camera, it doesn't need extra lenses or films, and with good eyes to composite your subject, there should be no problem in producing great photos as well. Being user-friendly, compact cameras usually have simple menu interface for you to navigate through, and is more affordable for many people. So what are the cons? For those who would like to adjust manual settings, there may not be a lot of flexibility to it. This includes making fine adjustments to your shutter speed, aperture, and zoom range. Due to its smaller inbuilt sensor, compact cameras have noisy photos as well, especially in darker areas, which means grainier photos with a lower resolution. Despite its downsides, with the advancement of camera technology, compact cameras are getting better and better each year in terms of functionality and image quality. So if you wish to bring along a camera small enough to fit in your pocket and traveling light, and the convenience of not having to change lenses while wanting to learn the basics of photography and prefer quick point and shoots, perhaps the compact digital camera is for you. Next, let's talk about digital single lens reflex, or more widely known as DSLR. It's a digital version of a film SLR camera which takes the world of photography to another whole new level. So how does DSLR works? Light enters through the lens, which is reflected off a mirror in the camera body that bounces light into the viewfinder. When you click the shutter, the mirror flips and exposes the digital sensor, which absorbs the light and captures the image. So what are the pros of DSLRs? DSLR models can range from entry-level beginner lineups up to professional lineups, giving a wide range of selection. It promises the avid photographers a full control over their camera settings and offer a wide range of interchangeable lenses while delivering remarkably superior image quality with a beautiful subject background blur, which otherwise is also known as bokeh or bokeh for some. It also has better build quality, with high-end models having weathered ceiling to face the harshness of environment. DSLR is further divided into two types: the full frame 35mm and the crop sensor, aka APS-C. Full frame DSLRs utilize the full size of the sensor, while the crop sensor types cover less of the image projected by the lens due to the smaller sensor. The bigger the sensor, the more pixels it can contain. This means that it will have a higher resolution. With a higher resolution, you'll be able to capture better detail in the scene. As such, images produced using a full frame camera will often be sharper than with crop sensor versions. The bigger sensor sizes of DSLRs produce less grainier photos compared to its counterparts. It may sound complicated, but I'll talk more in my future videos. DSLRs also use better battery consumption, with some models promising up to over 1,000 photos per single battery charge. DSLRs can also be bought at a cheaper rate, with a second-hand older high-end models being sold about 2,000 to 3,000 ringgits, with brand new entry-level DSLRs being sold at about 2,000 ringgits. With that said, better image and build quality, however, do come with a cost. Brand new professional high-end DSLR models can range up to over 20,000 ringgits and requires the photographer to have a wider range of learning curve. Those who favor traveling light may also face some weight issues, as DSLRs tend to be heavier and bulkier in sizes, not to mention the lens or lenses that they bring along. Those who prefer low-profile photo shooting may also face a problem, as they may stand out from the crowd by using DSLRs. In short, DSLRs suit almost every kind of photography and literally all types of photographers out there. From being a hobbyist to professional photographers, all can opt for this type of camera. And now let's talk about mirrorless camera. Mirrorless cameras are considered as a newer type of professional cameras, are basically more compact and the sibling of DSLRs without the internal reflex mirror, which bounces light up onto the optical viewfinder. With a mirrorless camera, light goes directly into the image sensor and they will have an electronic viewfinder or LCD that will display the preview of the image. Most common types of sensors in mirrorless cameras, such as full frame, APS-C, micro four thirds, and 1-inch sensors. So generally speaking, larger sensors perform better in lower light and produce less image noise in photos taken with higher ISO sensitivities. If low light photography is important for you, you might want to consider one of the full-frame DSLR or mirrorless cameras out there. Mirrorless cameras are now capable of capturing higher resolution photos with faster frame rates compared to some of the DSLRs in markets, and have interchangeable lenses as well to your liking, which can be useful in taking action-packed scenes. Compared to its heavier and bulkier DSLR counterparts, mirrorless cameras tend to be smaller in sizes and lighter, simpler to control at times. If you have previous generations of DSLR lenses and thinking of selling them off after purchasing the mirrorless camera, well, think again, as there are now mount adapters which you can fix to the mirrorless camera bodies and mount your DSLR lenses onto it. Autofocusing on mirrorless cameras have also greatly improved in recent years, with updates made to their firmwares time to time. So what are the cons of mirrorless cameras? Mirrorless cameras, however, capture fewer photos, per single battery charge compared to DSLRs, and has fewer lenses and accessories. However, worry not, as more and more lenses for mirrorless cameras are being announced every now and then, and these mirrorless lenses are being improved with every generation of new mirrorless cameras out there that are announced in recent years. So if you wish to have a portable and lighter body weight camera which can compete with the image quality produced from a DSLR, then mirrorless cameras are perhaps for you. Bear in mind, however, that if you prefer to use bulky lenses, the bigger and heavier of the cameras are perhaps the better option, since it will be much more difficult to balance the combination of a lightweight camera and a heavy lens. For example, pairing a lighter mirrorless camera body with a heavier lens will cause imbalance in handling and may also further cause instability when put on a poorer built tripod. More videos will come for the differences between DSLRs and mirrorless cameras. Well, at this point, some of you might be wondering, Max, have you totally forgotten about another type of popular camera? Well, the answer is no. You don't have to start photography with a proper specialized camera. You can start photography with the device that you have in hand right now, that's your phone's camera. Camera phones' biggest advantages are that it offers portability and convenience without having the burden to carry around heavy cameras, camera bodies, and lenses. Camera phone nowadays can actually take really good pictures. High-end camera phones also come with pro functions, which enable you to adjust your settings manually, and after some editing through photo apps, photos can really pop. However, no cameras are perfect, and this goes to camera phones as well. The biggest downside, nonetheless, for professional photographers is the lower quality images that phone produce compared to its bigger camera brothers. Phone cameras have small sensors compared to the larger sensor in mirrorless and DSLR cameras, which also means it produces lower quality photos when taking photos in low light places. Camera sensors also contain what's known as photosites that capture light that's translated into pixels. 1 million of these pixels equal to 1 megapixel. The larger the photosites, the more resultant megapixels, which allow for a better image and a higher resolution. A large sensor contains larger photosites, which enhance the camera's ability to capture low light photos in comparison to a small sensor in phone cameras. And by the way, I will talk more about camera sensor in my upcoming videos, so stay tuned. And here's a bonus tip in making a camera purchase for your photography journey. You probably have heard the saying, the best camera is the one you have with you. The simple reply of this saying to some people interested in pursuing photography may be obvious and not applicable to all situations at times. Please allow me to explain. It really depends on the person's needs in pursuing photography. In most cases, the person thinking of starting his or her photography journey is probably more interested in finding the best camera, which is more suitable to his or her situation or category of photography. For example, some people may want to just take decent shots of their children playing while using better quality camera compared to their current camera. The person asking may not be constrained by camera prices and wish to get a higher-end camera model to shoot, hence wishing to upgrade their camera from their current model. In many cases also, the person may already have cameras that are not deemed sufficient for their photography needs and wish to purchase an upgrade to improve their photography. So yes, the popular term that the best camera is the one you have with you should instead be the best camera is what you have or can have and can properly use. Finding the right camera for you will greatly depend on what you want to achieve. Whatever your decision is, don't be surprised that you might not fall in love with your first choice of camera. It might take a few different systems before you find the one that's perfect for you. Throughout the years, I've tried phone cameras, compact cameras, action cameras, and 360-degree cameras, and finally placed my DSLR and mirrorless cameras as my main cameras for now. Due to its functionality and sustainability, was able to satisfy my photography needs in capturing precious moments. Question of the day: what are the camera types that you're interested in, and what challenges you face while purchasing a camera? Share your thoughts by leaving a comment down below. By knowing the types of popular cameras we have today, I hope this video will guide you in making your first or subsequent camera purchase and make amazing photos out of the camera which you may already have or may have purchased or planning to get. Hope that you find this video helpful. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up and click the subscribe button for more contents such as this. I'm Maximilian Wong. Do check out my other videos in this channel and also drop by my social media, links in the description down below. Till then, take care and stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.